Hey everyone, and welcome to the No Grow Go podcast. I'm Matt Jordan. I'm senior pastor here at First Methodist Church of Enterprise. And today we have a very special episode. Today and next week, we have two guests that are special to my life, to our church. And that is Miss Melissa today, our children's minister, our kids men director. And next week we've got Miss Tammy Ezel, who runs our Stepping Stones preschool and our Mom's Day Out, speaking about their program and what all they do. Both of these are really timely, and that is because registration is currently going on for Mom's Day Out, for summer camp, and for school. And so we're going to have Tammy talk about that and their programming all next week. And today it's timely because in just 2 weeks, we have Vacation Bible School beginning, and that's an exciting time in the life of our church for everyone volunteering. We're doing a few things a little different this year, and we just wanted to give you an update on that. So I'm going to let Melissa give a bit of an introduction about herself, but everyone knows Melissa. She was, I'm going to introduce you. So Melissa was a daycare teacher in our Mom's Day Out for almost 20 years. 20 years. Yeah. And in that time also served as an assistant in our kids ministry. And right after disaffiliation, October following that, we brought Melissa on as our kids men director, and she has took the bull by the horns and done a lot of great things. We've made some changes upstairs to some things and how we do different parts of ministry. If you come by the office, you're going to think Melissa shares an office because Amy's in there all the time, and they get along great. They work well together, and the other side is. The way that we shifted some of our ministry is, to give you a little context, oftentimes in ministry, you've got your children or your kids, you've got students, and you've got adults, and even at times senior adults. And very rarely do they ever cross. Well, when you look at adults and senior adults, there's a whole lot of years before some of us cross, right? And for some of us, those years are getting shorter. But as you cross into that senior adult path, the teaching style and who you're volunteering with and who you're connecting with, there's not as much change in that capacity. But with kids to students, they're in kids ministry where there's a lot of artwork, a lot of crafts, a lot of hands-on lessons that are age appropriate. You've got volunteers that have volunteered with our kids ministry for ages. Yes. And then all of a sudden they transition to students, and they're learning different things. They're learning at a different level. They're learning with different volunteers, and it's a big swing in expectations when you've been at children's church and kids ministry and all those things, and you've got snacks right there at your right hand, and painting, and all these other things, and specific volunteers. Then you step into students, and it's like, where are the snacks? And so what we've done is we've tried to bring a deeper connection to the way that we do ministry with kids and students. And they oftentimes, if not all the time, go through the same material and go through all of that. So, Melissa, give us an update on Kids Men. Yes. Anything that I did not say introducing you, but just give us an update on where we're at with kids ministry.
Well, on the thing of us working together, on Wednesdays, Amy writes our Bible study that is Worldview. And she does it with the students, and then she writes it for the kids that's just on their level instead of that. And we talk about all the ways that basically to defend our faith and how that the Bible's true, the absolute truth of God, those things. And then on 2 Sundays, Amy does confirmation. I do it with her. And then 2 Sunday afternoon, the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders do a study on different religions. So it kind of plays into that same worldview. And we started the world religions because my kids have asked so many questions about other religions and friends. And that's something that nowadays kids are exposed to every religion at school. And so we have to go through that and let them know that our God is the right God and who to believe.
Yeah, and I think that's an important point. And I don't think that I've received. So I don't think because I can't think of one where I've received a comment or a question. But I'm sure that there are some that wonder, why are our kids studying world religions? And just to give everybody some context to that, when you look at our area, there are a lot of things that are different, even for a small town our size, and compared to others. And that is solely because of Fort Rucker. Yes. And when you look at a school system as large as ours, there's a lot of influence, even in the elementary school level. When you look at the diversity of people coming in, not everybody in the military is a Christian. Not everybody believes in God. And so when they're children who are learning in these same ways and are learning in this capacity, are integrating in the schools with our kids, there's a lot of questions. I got a friend who's a Jew. What do Jews believe? I've got a friend who family is Muslim. What do they believe? I got a friend who is a Mormon. Right? What do they believe? Yes. And is their religion the same as ours? Is it true? They pray to a God. Is that our God? And listen, I've got two boys, as you all know, and they ask a lot of questions, right? Sometimes those questions I have to think about before I answer. And we've got one student, Xander.
He asked the best questions.
I think it was a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. One of the things I love to do with our kids ministry, especially those that are serving as acolytes and serving in the service, is to be able to have a time where we sit together and we walk through the church and we talk about what an acolyte is and why we have a chancel in the sanctuary and why the stained glass are different colors and just some parts about worship that are really unique. And I always like to open it up for questions. And Xander's questions quickly went from things about that to, so do you think that God is just everywhere at one time in the universe, or like heaven is some place that we just haven't found in a galaxy yet, or like it's above us? And I was like, man, Scripture didn't really give us a lot of instruction as to the location of heaven and what that looks like. And he said, but is it like, you think it's like a planet we haven't found? Like wouldn't let it go. And Xander, man, he asked all the right questions. Yes. And so they ask deep questions. And so it's appropriate, especially at 4th, 5th, 6th grade, when they're dealing with these things, to do that. So kudos to you. And
I had a kindergartner that told me that he had a friend at school that said, once you die and you go to heaven, you can be anything you want in heaven. Like you could change to an animal, anything. And he told the friend, he was like, that's not what heaven is, and that's not what we believe. And he defended it and was telling him, and he's kindergarten.
Yeah.
So it's very important the kids get this. They go to school with atheists, Muslims, people that are Mormon, Jewish, everything. Yeah. And they want to know what their friend believes and what we believe and how it's different. Yeah. So that's a big one we're doing, and we'll continue doing that through the summer and fall. And then for our kids' worship on Sunday mornings, we're averaging 15 to 18 kids.
Great.
And Sunday school, probably 3 months ago, we were averaging 3 kids maybe. We now usually have 10 to 12.
That's awesome.
I mean, we have really grown. Yeah. And we're doing the gospel project like the adults and students. So we're going through the whole Bible. And the kids, I have realized anything that we have talked about and done, if you ask them questions about that, they can answer it. They know it. And we're up now from the Old Testament to, in the New Testament now. So they love doing it. They love the videos that go with it, everything.
Great.
But a huge one I want to say is about Merge Camp.
Okay.
We asked people, a few weeks ago, if you would pray about and donate for us. Y'all, we have enough money between the Fall Festival auction and donations that all of us are going to camp. That is 15 of us. We're all going to camp completely paid for. Plus, we have enough to do for our gas going there and back and all our snacks. And the T-shirts I was going to get for the kids to be made for us to wear for Color Day.
That's awesome.
So I cannot thank our church members and church family enough. Our kids are so excited about Merge Camp, and that is just amazing that it covered that all.
That's awesome.
And for us to all go to camp was over $4,000.
That's great.
So amazing. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody.
In church, I'll tell you, that's something that I remember when I was serving as youth director. It was our first camp that we were getting ready for when I was in charge. We were taking kids to to Doe River Gorge in Hampton, Tennessee, and about a week, maybe two beforehand. Actually, it was before then. It's probably about a month or so beforehand. I had received some phone calls from different members of the church that said, "Matt, is there any kid that can't go to camp?" And I said, "Well, we've got another fundraiser I think that we have to do, and there not everything's due yet." So I said I can't give an affirmative answer, and they said, "Well, I want you to hear me. There will not be a kid in our church who wants to go to camp that can't." And I said, "What do you mean?" And they said, if there's a child that cannot go to camp, or their sibling can't go to camp, or whatever it may be, you call me. And whether it was a camp, whether it was, I remember we were going to Lake Junaluska one year, and part of that was skiing, and so it was cold. And down here it didn't get that cold. This was in close to Maggie Valley, North Carolina, and I had members that said, "Hey, tell me their sizes, and I'll get some of those that may need it, some cold weather gear that they can have and use it for camp, or I'll bring some of my stuff if it'll fit them and they can use it." And so our church has just historically loved children and students as well. And I'll tell you, it is so it's so inspiring, because there are things that are difficult to budget for with camp and things like that, because there's unknowns, right? Yes. There's some of these camps, like Merge is probably one of those that I imagine that they'll probably, if not at camp, a couple of weeks after, will probably release what the early bird cost is. But some of your other camps that are more, mom and pop camps, or things like your there's some Christian camps like Camp Butter and Egg in Troy that are close to that size, right? Doe River Gorge is one of those where they, their camp prices, they won't have those out until the next winter for what's coming in the summer. And so some of that is hard to budget for, and the cost of everything goes up, right? And so camp goes up, and the cost of travel goes up.
Yes.
And for parents, especially in this economy, it's sometimes it's difficult to be able to say, I can send both my children, or you went last year, so your sibling's going this year. And so what a blessing.
Yeah,
right?
we have several parents that have 2 or 3 kids going, so that was a big thing. I wasn't sure they were going to be able to go, and stuff. And then we have several students that were helping that I was hoping we could cover them. So this is just amazing. I honestly was thinking, maybe we'll get enough to help us with some of the cost. When Gina told me, she's like, "Melissa, you have more than enough," I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah. So it has made us so happy.
That's amazing.
The kids are going to be. All they have talked about for weeks is camp.
Good.
That's it.
Good.
So they are excited.
So tell us what happens at camp, because that's the other side. I think everybody hears kids love camp. We had some that gave their life to Christ at camp. But what is camp?
Okay. Let me point out, it's not just fun, because I think people sometimes think we talk so much about the fun stuff, like that we have a shaving cream fight, we have a glow party, we have rec games.
That's like OMC?
Is it what?
OMC? Organized Mass Chaos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely.
Do they play that game?
That's the whole thing.
Okay. Have you ever played Organized Mass Chaos?
No, not that. But that's how kids camp is. It's just organized chaos.
So there is a game.
No.
And I think it came out of Life. I think it came out of Merge or out of whatever camp the students are at right now. Fuge. But Organized Mass Chaos is a game that there's a circle that is drawn, or that is laid out by, if you remember, like 5-gallon buckets or whatever. And there are items in the center of the circle. And there's 2 rules. You can't say no to a card. And if you're in the circle, you're a participant, regardless. Yeah. Right? So, if you're an adult walking through, you're a participant, right? Until you leave that circle. And there are things that are like find a partner and crack an egg over their head, or have a water balloon fight with somebody. And so there's order, but it's mass chaos, because you can't say no. So I may have a card that says spray somebody with a water gun 5 times and then run around laughing like a donkey, and then you have to participate, right? So because I found you can't say no to the card, nor can I. So it's fun.
We did play a game last year at camp that it was like a paper with, I think there was like 10 things on it, and we had to do all of them, like your team color. And it was crazy things like we had to pass through a hula hoop. Everybody had to put their shoes in the middle and do something, like crazy things like that. So it's similar to that, but like everybody had to do all of it as a team.
Yeah.
But we do all those fun things, which the kids love, and they're so much fun. But the other things that are really important is we do worship in the morning and night. And we have Daniel Cook is the one that organizes Merge. He has a band that comes, and they do all the worship music, and they do a lot of stuff the kids know from the radio and stuff. So they get up and dance and praise and that. And then his team leads large group from the stage that, like this time, our theme is echo, like echoing God the way we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So they, from the stage, will do a lesson on that and everything. And then at some point during the day, depending on when rec and things are, we do a small group, which Amy writes for the small group. So our small group is absolutely, we know what it is ahead of time and everything. And it's based on different Bible stories or verses, and it goes with the theme of echo. And in there, we are by just our group together. And we'll split up this year, girls and boys do it. And what we do is we'll do like an object lesson. We talk about all that, those kind of things. Yeah. So there's a lot of fun stuff to camp, but there's a lot where we're talking about the Bible stories, being a believer, what that means in your life and things like that. And on the last night of camp, I think it's the last night. It might be the night before. Daniel does basically an altar call from the stage. He talks about what it means to follow God, all these things. And then if any of your kids are interested in that, want to know or anything, they come out with like me and Amy, and we talk to them and explain it and stuff. And one of our little girls from last year, she came out, really was talking about that, and she's about to be baptized next week.
Yeah, yeah.
So that I mean, it's not just fun and games like that. You know, if you ask the kids, we're all, including me, we're going to tell you first things like shaving cream, the color wars, all those. But then when you really ask us what it's about, it really is about the kids, like, they grow together so much, and the independence they learn, because me and Amy make them like be in charge of themselves, getting up, getting ready, getting there and stuff. So they have a lot of that, but they also learn so much about God and following God and what it means and things like that. It is an amazing experience, honestly.
Awesome. That's awesome. And church, you have made it possible for our kids within our church to be able to go and to experience not just the fun, but the discipleship that takes place in that. And there's another opportunity for our church. And you know, when you look at our mission and vision statement of transform the world with the good news of Jesus Christ, how we know, grow, and go, one of those avenues is intentionally living out Acts 1:8, right? Of taking the gospel and being an example of faith to those in Judea, Jerusalem, Samaria, and every end of the earth, right? And so we talk about international missions. We do a lot of missions when it comes to Love Your City and opportunities that we have to serve with ministries like the Christian Mission and Hand Up Enterprise and some of these other places. But the big difference, or the big thing, I guess, that we don't often view in that same vein is Vacation Bible School. And Vacation Bible School is a ministry that has existed for years in churches across the world, and it's a really like a mini camp, you know, in a short period of time for students and kids to come and to worship, to hear the gospel presented in a fun and unique way. And to see those stories as they go through that time, and it really is a great time to for the intention to love on the children while they're here at our church and share the gospel with them.
Yes.
So it's not just a fun thing that we do as a church. It's not just something that we do that's a part of our kids' ministry. There's a deep intention that this is a missional opportunity for us to reach out and bring those children on our campus and be able to share the gospel with them and love on them while they're here. And so when we think about VBS has that intentionality to it, sort of like Sunday school. You know, you think about Sunday school, the earliest formations of Sunday school and that language that we know it, was the church was a huge part of education, especially during the Industrial Revolution. in a way that you had a lot of folks that couldn't read and things of that nature. So Sunday school time in churches was an opportunity to teach that to other people and things, as well as we look at it in probably the broader scope, or what our assumption is, of breaking that down into deep, small groups of studying the Word of God, right, and of studying those things deeply. And that's why we have Sunday school, right, in that capacity. So there are things that our church has, VBS, Sunday school, other things that are historic in nature, right, and that we may have just become accustomed to, that this is what we do. But there is a deep intentionality behind those. And the reason I bring that up is because we've done something a little different this year. And you may say, well, yeah, you've done something different. It's during the day. It's not at night. And some of you may remember where until the past few years,
it's always been in the
always
day.
Been during the day.
It has. It's always been the day.
So we're doing some data that was I had told Melissa and Amy, I said, I want to do it during the day this year. And they said, are you sure? That's going to limit some of our volunteers. And I said, yeah, but I think it may increase some of the opportunity with the kids. And so we're just trying something different, right? Yeah. Trying something different that way. But the different part that I'm bringing up is we're not using curriculum from any major group or organization like Group or Lifeway or Cokesbury or Seedbed or anything like that. And there's a reason for that. And so I bring that up in the same context of Sunday school, so that when we think about Bible studies and we think about small groups across our church, like Ladies Bible Journaling, or like the class Bob Helms is doing on Sunday mornings at 9:30, and we look at small groups that may meet at different times at the church. Sunday school and small groups is interchangeable language, right, of the way we do those things. So just because you have people in our church that are engaged in Bible study at a different time doesn't mean that they're not engaged in a small group of something. Sometimes change happens. And so with ours this year, we have something really cool.
Yes.
Where Amy has written our curriculum, Crosstaceous.
Yes. There's no one like our God.
Amen. You can see the big sign behind us here. There's no one like our God. Crosstaceous VBS, First Methodist, roar for Jesus.
Yes.
And when we think about that, there's a lot of things in this that I think are so important, right? One of those members of our church that have seen a copy of the budget, have a copy of the budget, and see that every year. VBS is arguably and is the highest cost of kids ministry, yes. And I would argue that 60% of that is for curriculum.
It's a lot on curriculum.
Because
curriculum, decorations, those kind of things. Those are the two biggest ones.
Yeah, it's huge.
The kit that you buy from Cokesbury or somewhere is almost $300. The puppet is about $50, and then all their Bible posters and stuff. And you have to get it from them. There's nowhere else to get it. This, though, Amy has written, we got to pick our own Bible stories. We got to pick our own crafts, our own science experiments. We got to pick it all.
Yeah.
And Amy did all the graphics. She made it all. We can print our own stuff, like our Bible posters I can print at Walgreens that saves so much money. And then I ordered, decorations, but it's dinosaurs, so everybody loves it.
That's right.
I am unbelievably excited about this one. Dinosaurs are one of my favorite things next to unicorns.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah. Well, and I'm excited too.
So much fun.
And I'll tell you why I'm really excited. And it's really two reasons. One is we know what is being taught and the depth that's in it. So a lot of times when you get this curriculum, and I heard this 5 years ago, the food truck one. Yeah. That there just wasn't a lot of scripture. And I hear that every year, right? Yeah. That there's not a lot of scripture, or the Bible study stories aren't really good, or whatever it may be, right? And that's the curriculum that we get, and we do the best with what we receive in that. And we have to be careful as well. Theologically, we're an independent church, but we're Methodist in our theology. So, we need to be particular about those things as well. Yes. And so finding a curriculum that provides all of that in a great way is difficult, and at times can be disappointing in some avenues, but also has a huge cost to it. And so the first reason I'm really excited is because We know Amy's teaching. We know Amy,
Yes.
her theological knowledge and ability. She writes for Merge Camp.
Yes.
She writes for the kids' Bible study version of Awana.
Yes.
I want to say Brightspeed. That's internet.
It used to be Bright.
Bright. That was it.
She wrote for that for a long time.
Yeah.
She does, like I say, our Bible studies a lot of times on Wednesdays. And last year she told me, Mary Evelyn, and Megan Barbary, she made the comment, because we didn't like any of the themes coming out, that she had always wanted to write a VBS. So, of course, we three said, we want you to write it, and we want dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So Amy has written it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are so excited because we got to pick the big thing, like you're saying, we pick the Bible stories, we pick the crafts, everything. When you go through a box curriculum, a lot of times we would spend so much money on crafts that one year I refused to do crafts because I was like, it's going to cost us probably $1,500 and that stuff goes in the trash. Mm-hmm. This is stuff we got to pick, like that we know the kids will keep, things that are good. The science experiments are things we know our kids will want to see and do. And Amy is so good. Like, she matched it all with it. And then we talked, because I've taught preschool for so many years, like she would talk to me to make sure that, hey, is this going to work for a preschooler, Melissa, if we do this and stuff. Yeah. So we really worked she worked unbelievably hard on this to get it. And her graphics, her design, it's amazing. Yeah. Her aunt in Alex City is going to do it too the week after us.
That's great. That's
so
awesome.
I hope this is something she's going to keep doing for us, and we can start getting her maybe published at some point so she can start. I think it would sell because it is so good.
Well, and I think as a church, when you look at staff, there has been, and I'm not speaking about our church, but in churches in general, there's a lot of times that staff are seen as facilitators of information, right? Where they facilitate the teaching of a curriculum, or they facilitate, whatever. And at times, as you know, we have a new Sunday school curriculum. It's not really new now because we're in year 2 of it, I think. But you facilitate that, right? And one of those reasons is you have a lot of volunteers, and so gives them resources that they may not normally have or that aren't easily accessible, and can keep everybody in continuity. But when you hire the right staff, and you get folks like Melissa, like Amy, like Deb, our hospitality coordinator, like Gina and Billy and Janice and others, who have that creativity and the skill set and the knowledge to be able to put these things together that's applicable for our local church, use their resources well. That's a reflection not only of the love that they have for our church, but the investment that our church is making in them and they in us. That we can see and say proudly that, hey, our staff writes this and can write this and can do this and can lead this, and so it's a great thing to be able to have folks on our staff, as I think all of our staff are, that are not only capable and willing, but have that skill set to do some of those things, right? To take that to a deeper level. So, tell us about the Bible studies or the theme verses. I guess I gotta get back in my VBS mindset.
Our main Bible verse for the week is, "Lord, there is no one like you. You are great. Your name is great in power." Jeremiah 10:6.
There we go.
See that.
There we go.
And our cute little these 4 are our kind of little dinosaur for the day. Each day has a different little dinosaur, and then for every day, let me open this up and I'll tell you. We have the first day, we're doing, our big theme is God created everything, and it's from Genesis 1 and Colossians 1. Day 2, our big truth is God chooses the unlikely, and that's going to be on David. Yeah. Day 3 is God is always with us, and that's going to be about Jesus' life, death, resurrection. Day 4 is God has a plan, and I'm excited about this one because you do not see this one in Kids Men that much. Is Paul's shipwreck we're going to do. Yeah. So we're trying to find, and like all of our crafts, our science experiments, everything, Amy ties the Bible stories in with that. Yeah. So it's really awesome. But we have, like I said, like here, if you can see, there's little Bible dinosaurs for each day. Yeah. And we have that. So But the main theme is there is no one like our God.
Good.
And I think that also honestly fits in with everything the kids have been learning from our worldview, our world religions, all of that. And so like we have kind of fit everything together for all of it.
Yeah, and I think it's a great thing too in the capacity of the culture of the world that we're in as well, that we can give that definitive absolute truth that there is no one like our God, right? And of course, there are numerous songs that sing that. I'm sure we'll sing some of those at VBS, but to have those stories that also build upon one another into that last day is so powerful. And finding, kids ministry is not my strong suit, so finding creative ways to communicate that, through dinosaurs or, you just look at a VBS curriculum, whether it's food trucks or whether it's spaceships or whether it's a ship and pirates or whatever, all of those things are tools that are utilized to communicate the gospel and communicate that message. And so I think it's going to be a great thing. I do want to make sure that you or Amy are prepared for the child who's going to say, "Where's the dinosaurs in the Bible?"
I know. We know that's going to happen. They always do.
Yes.
So we got to work on that.
Got to go to Job and the Behemoth.
Yes. And I'm like, we got that. Kids, it's probably Xander, okay?
That's right. That's right. So tell us, so VBS, Vacation Bible School, Crosstaceous, there's no one like our God. It's going to be an awesome time.
It is.
What are the dates and times?
June 15th to June 18th. 8:30 to 12 o'clock. Okay.
And breakfast and lunch are provided.
Yes. We have the, what's it called from the school? The summer program they do. Mm-hmm. We get breakfast and lunch for them. So every child will get a breakfast is what we'll have for snack. And then they'll get the lunch to go home with them.
That's great. That's
great. Yes. So they get fed twice that day.
And so it's 15th to the 18th. Yes. 8:30 to 12. Where do they drop off and pick up?
The fellowship hall, we'll open the big wooden doors. And what's that called? The portico, when you pull through?
Mm-hmm,
the pull through. They'll pull through and drop them off. And about 11:45 line up and we'll start dismissing them. Great. We'll have, Michael Hines always helps with that. He'll go down the car line and Matt will call them and we'll send them out to you.
Yep.
So yes.
And that'll be drop off and pick up every day.
Yes, every day, the same spot.
In that time frame.
Like parents don't even have to get out of your car. You can pull up in your car and let them out and we take them.
That's great.
Yes.
Yeah. And generally what we do, we give a card with their kid's name on it.
Yes.
Just like you have at school.
Yes. And you just hold the card up.
That's right. And if it's raining, we've got umbrellas.
Yes, we do.
So it's always a fun time. Now, where can folks sign up?
If you'll hold that card, we have them throughout the church. I think it may be on the website. I'm going to work on putting it on there, if not soon.
It's on our Facebook page.
Facebook page. Okay, that's what it is. You scan the QR code and it'll take you to the Church Center app. If for some reason you cannot make an account or you do not have one, you are welcome to call the church at 334-347-3467 or my cell at 334-389-1070, and I will get you registered.
Great.
I will get it. I mean, no problem. And we take, if you are 4 by June, you can come do it. We take preschoolers up to 6th grade, and anybody 7th grade or up can volunteer and help.
Perfect. And then when it comes to VBS as well, there may be some who forget to register.
Come on in Monday morning and we'll take you.
Okay, that's good.
You can come any day that week. And if you can't come all 4 days, it does not matter. Come the days you can come. We'll take you any days you can come.
Now, is there, in years past, we've done kind of a competition like Alabama Auburn or whatever it is for canned food for the mission or different things that we've done. Is there anything like that this year?
I haven't put that out yet.
Okay.
But what I was thinking about, I was actually going to get with you and see what we needed for like the school supply drive, and we'll do that probably is what we'll do.
Perfect.
I just hadn't finalized that completely.
Yeah. And we've still got 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We got plenty of time.
We got plenty of time. But VBS, June 15th to the 18th.
Yes.
8:30 to 12. You can sign up online. It's on our Facebook page.
Yes.
And if you for some reason can't get that figured out, we use a program called Planning Center.
Yeah.
And for our signups, they run everything through Church Center. So if for some reason you can't get logged in, whatever it is, call Melissa.
Yes.
Call the office number again, 334-347-3467. And Melissa's number is 334-389-1070.
Yes.
Yep. Look at there. You know, you call anybody you want, right?
For real. We'll register you. We're going to take you.
And you can message us on Facebook.
Yes.
It may be a delayed response, and I'll tell you why. Every now and then I get a notification that someone's messaged us on Facebook, and sometimes I get it immediately, right? So I check it weekly. So if you don't hear back, if you do message us on Facebook, please reach out to us and let us know, and we'll get you signed up. And if you're like me and you wait till the last minute, or you wait till registration has closed for an event, and you're, because what I do is I typically forget, and I call and say, hey, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot to sign myself up. Can I still get in? And most of the time I get a yes. There's been a few times I've had to disappoint myself. And I'm also the worst about waiting till the last minute. They're like, hey, you're like way overdue here.
Listen, I always say our church kids are the last ones that'll be registered. They'll register Monday morning. Kids that don't go to our church, our community kids, will be registered.
Yeah.
It's always so funny. Our church kids forget. Like, their parents will be helping, and they'll come in and be like, I don't think I registered them, Melissa.
Yeah. So we take your day of, or any day
we
that
will,
week.
any day.
And one last thing I want to say before we begin to close. Children are so special in the eyes of God in our church. And so we take pride in training our volunteers.
Yeah.
Everybody's background checked.
Yes.
And that has to come back clear before they can even be approved to be a volunteer. And then we have a policy in our church called Shepherd Safe. And those of you that are listening that may be United Methodist or have been United Methodist, they require us to have a program called Safe Sanctuaries. You have to have 2 adults in the class that are unrelated, and appropriate age ratios. A child who's under the age of 19 cannot qualify as a full adult for that ratio. Different things like that just help protect our children. And so we continued that with what we call our Shepherd Safe policy and how we protect them. And so all our volunteers are trained on that as well. And that's my job at VBS. And part of my job at the church is Matt's Shepherd Safe teacher. And boy, I try to be a stickler as much as I can on that policy, especially when it deals with our children. And so we put deep pride in protecting the kids of our community and our church when they're on our campus. And at events and different things. So, but again, if you've not signed up, make sure to do so. If you're looking for a church, or make sure to
we would love to have you.
Yeah, and Melissa does a great job.
On the security thing, talking about that, we also during VBS always have the police officer here for security too. Yeah. So we take, and like I always have floaters. Like you, me, different ones of us, we walk around, we're constantly checking on the kids. So we really pride ourselves on safety of these kids. Like that is first and foremost. I'm not going to let anybody be with our kids if they're not background checked and we trust them. Ever.
Yeah. Everybody has to be background checked. Even
we have a training on, and I'll send this out. We're going to send it on Pew News and everything soon. June 11th at 5:30. Yeah. We'll do a training for any VBS volunteer that can come. Great. We're going to do a training, do Shepherd Safe, behavior, VBS, everything at one time. Yeah. And
Melissa will take part in that training. I'll take part in that training.
And Deb.
And Deborah Owens.
Yes.
And Deb has 34 years, I think, of preschool and children's education, has wrote and has served in a lot of different positions for behavior specialists and different things. And so the training that we provide, Deborah's actually approved to train on behalf of the state in different schools and things of that nature, presented at a lot of great conferences. So so the training that we try to provide our volunteers and all is,
I mean, it's top notch.
It's a lot more than just kids only get 3 goldfish.
Yes.
It's a very deep training. So we try to provide the greatest atmosphere possible, safety, fun, gospel centered. So but we would love for you to join us. We'd love to join us on Sunday mornings 9 and 11. Kids worship meets during the 9 o'clock service, and they got Sunday school at 10, and so make sure to get up with them. If you want more information about our church, you can go to our Facebook page or YouTube page, and you can see that, and you can also see our live stream and things, and check out our website for more about Melissa and our other staff at fmce.church. We hope you have a great week, friends. It's VBS season.
Yes.
We hope to see you soon because there is no one like our God. Thanks for being part of the No Grow Go podcast.